don't like spray that doesn't spray. Oh. A walk. This is like, it's not like anything. Another cloudy 40-degree day. Not mid-40s, upper 40s. 40 exactly, maybe 39. I may be suffering more than I realized. This has been a long couple of weeks of it's the first time I've thought of flipping the viewing screen around where I can make faces at myself. A long string of cloudy, cold days. We did have a day last week, I think Thursday. That was beautiful. Upper 50s, low 60s, sunny is like the sort of day we deserved or are entitled to. Now today was going to be rainy, 77% chance of rain. We've had no rain. I want rain. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do is just walk around. What it feels like, this weather, day after day after day of, we are poised on the cusp of happy weather season, and we just can't get it. This is April 26th. I mean, May is right around the corner. And looking at the weather forecast repeatedly doesn't seem to influence its result. Suki's had a rough go with her hip, and I have promised myself 5 years ago when she had this kind of a bout, and it was directly due to my throwing the ball for her. And I made a resolution back then, we just can't do the ball anymore. And here we are 5 years on, and I did this to her again, sort of forgetting, I guess, that her hip cannot afford this. And I have learned that if I make her sit, then throw the ball, and then say, okay, and she runs off after the ball, that's a lot less strain on her hip. It's hard to keep doing that. And when it comes right down to it, what would she rather and what would I rather have for her? Having a life of fun and entertaining, because that's her first love, absolutely, just chasing the ball or making her walk beside me. I had to pick her up to get her on the bed yesterday for our morning nap. I was working away in the loft afterward. She doesn't get down once I get up from the nap. She likes to hang around up on the bed for a while. And I was sure I heard a whine. Yep, I did. She was up and standing on the bed, hoping I would rescue her and get her down. Now that is very rare. Most rare of all is her her whining for something. The only time she will vocalize that she needs something is in the middle of the night when she has to go out and relieve her bowels. So I know if I hear her whine, that means something serious. She really needs it or she wouldn't. I'm hiding from her. Glances up at me. Yeah, I knew you were there. So funny you think I wouldn't know that. So we're going down to the swamp verge. Yesterday morning when I had my morning coffee on the deck, I began hearing a loon calling. And it was the call that you hear at night, in the middle of the night. Not the warning call. They got 3 distinct calls. There's a warning, there's another one, and then there's a third one, which is that one you hear during the night. Lonely and mournful, evokes memories of everything good about being out in the solitude of the wilderness. Well, I heard that yesterday morning. So what do? You know, I've been doing photography for so long. Man, newspaper photography, especially for a living. And I learned many years ago, as I've mentioned. You see a photo opportunity, you don't ignore it and say, well, I'll get it later, I'll get it tomorrow, I'll get it on my way back. And it never happens. It's always over with. So yesterday I'm hearing this. I don't want to go in and get the camera out. I gotta get it ready. It's not a major suffering, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. So I'm sitting there with a guilty conscience, and this loon is every 10-15 seconds, ooh, in the night. Oh, I should, no. Okay, so after the 8th time, all right, into the house. Camera, come out, right up on the driveway. Nothing. No. He's all finished. And the argument that goes with this doesn't work, because you say, well, the first loon call you hear, go get the camera. Well, he may be calling just once, and that's it. You have no way of knowing. So either way that you do it, you're damned. And I've carefully calculated out, examined this, done my research. It's about 2% of the times that I go get the camera do I succeed in capturing what it was that I went in to get the camera for. 2%. It's actually 1.78% of the time. I've got loon calls on film. I can use those if I have to. We have made it to the prow of the ship. And these swans, I won't see them from here. I won't see them from anywhere. I know one of the aggravations I've been having with this spring is how early it all began to happen. And yeah, I know we get spoiled, but I have to keep reminding myself, northern Minnesota is a cold geographical location. So that's one reason why we're having day after week of all the same. In a normal winter, we would be just beginning to have some easing of winter by now. And I realize I've been walking. I've been out here for 2 hours now, and how I'm not cold. My hands aren't. So, and really, I'm having a ball. I've been all over, all the way from way down on Dennis's south boundary to up here on the north boundary almost of our land. It is Tuesday, April 27th. I am reverting to the GoPro for weight considerations. A little bit of a sun going on here. It's a hazy sun and it's mid-50s. Lovely, absolutely lovely to be out here again. Our morning nap this morning, I called Suki into the bedroom, and she always, once she gets into the doorway, the bed is only 10 feet away, and she gets a run at it and jumps up just fine. It wasn't so just fine this morning. She doesn't have the strength in her hips anymore, and she whammed herself into her rear legs into the bed frame. I was gonna pick her up, and I called her near where I could get her in my arms. And being the independent mutt that she is, in her mind she said, "No thanks, I can get it." And she failed. I ordered 150 Dasaquin pills this morning for her. Should arrive Friday. It's been a year or more since I quit giving those to her. I just forgot it, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember what my thinking was, but I gotta get her back on some help like that. Man, oh man, I just cringe when that kind of thing happens. I hate it for her. I don't know how much dogs feel sentiments like humiliation, but I think they do. And I see the flag is up on the mailbox, so we're gonna check the mail. Yesterday was a bonanza for mail, and I'm remembering I've got the sign that was up here. Oh, there it is back there. Had the address for this property before we were in the books. or on record, whatever. Being a new property, unlisted, needed to have this address up there so that delivery folks, Home Depot, knew where to come. And the building permit sign, I don't know how long we're supposed to leave that up. I could remove it and see what happens. You see any problem here? I do. Saw it almost immediately when I had Chuck pick up new wheelbarrow handles for the wheelbarrow that we brought back from the woods. One of the bolts, this part of one of the handles, oh, this is my wheelbarrow, that's not that one. One of the handles was rotten at the end, and this bolt got lost, fell off. So I needed a new bolt, and I asked him to pick me up a couple bolts. I needed one, but I wanted to make sure on the length. They're 1/2-inch bolts. I worked in a hardware for 10 or 11 years. True Value and an Ace, some years apart. I know bolts. I don't anymore. I asked for 1/2-inch bolts. And when he brought this bag of goodies, I didn't even have to remove it to know that's way wrong. Chuck, think, Chuck. I was wrong.
I was wrong.
These are 1/4-inch bolts, but they take a 1/2-inch wrench to get the nuts off. I used to laugh at people when they come into the hardware. Yeah, I need 1/2-inch bolts. No, and they were going by the wrench size that it took to remove the bolt and the nut. And I would gently correct them. Oh, yeah, okay. And I've done the same damn thing. And I even thought, I went back and forth in my head. I even got my Leatherman tool out that has a ruler on it. And I measured the diameter, 1/2-inch, that's right. How did that go exactly? Because these bolts the old bolts are not 1/2-inch. I think I measured them, and I don't get old and Alzheimer's-ish. Okay, what am I doing? I was gonna walk. Oh yeah. I want to photograph these. Can you see the red? They are very much alive. At least that one is. That one is. Those are maples. And I gotta remove the Velcros. This thing can stand on its own root feet. And this one, oh, look at here. I've been worried about this one. There's a little new growth. Everything else is gone. I don't think this one's gonna come back, but I'm gonna use the real camera and re-photograph these so I've got a record. Let's go look at earlier ones. That's oak. That's maple. That's oak, but oak, yeah, these are thriving. If they're red like that, they're alive. Oaks take a lot longer to get going in the spring.
It was time to move on in the first order of business, heading to the epic Rio Claro. If you want to hike in,
I'm gonna have an hour or two of epic kayaking. Phew. Back at the narrowest kayaking place in the world.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.